Hello, and welcome to version 3.0 using the new Mode feature on the calculator. I begin from the home screen by clicking on Calculator. This, of course, brings me to the built-in calculator. You'll notice that it looks a bit different than the one you currently have, assuming that you have this application already. I have grouped the functions differently, the buttons. I've grouped them and colored them by this new grouping. And I tried to color them and group them according to functionality. You'll notice one new button, this button right here. This is my Mode button, and you'll notice that it changes names. It is either the Go to Degree feature or the Go to Radian feature. And so this one button does change names. Right now it is the Go to Radian, which must mean that I am in the degree mode, and that is the truth. I am in the degree mode. If I want to work in degrees, I don't have to do anything special now. I can just take the sine of, let's say, 30 degrees. I can take the cosine of 30 degrees, and I don't have to do anything. As long as I want to keep as long as I want to keep working in degrees, I don't have to do anything special. It will continue to work in degrees just as long as I don't change this button. So this button is the one that lets me know that I am in degrees. And how do I know that? Well, because it says Go to Radian. If I wanted to go to Radian, I would click on this button. Now I'm in Radian mode, and you'll see that if I take the sine of 30 radians, it is certainly not 1/2. It is negative 0.98803162409. And I can continue to work here in radians just as long as I want to without having to do anything special. It will stay in Radian mode until I click this button, Go to Degrees. It is once again now in degree mode, and so I can go back to working in degrees just as long as I want. And one feature that I think is really nice, I had to work at this just a little bit because the calculator that I've been using in the classroom for the past 15 years throws an error when you try to do this. And that is to use a composition of trig functions. For example, the sine of the inverse sine of 30 degrees, of course, should return 30 degrees since sine and inverse sine are inverse functions. And you can see that it does. I can tell you that's not the way it works with all calculators. In fact, most calculators, if you try to pile up trig functions like this, they'll throw an error message at you. I know this because I've taught with them for many years. And it doesn't matter what order you go in. Let's say I want the inverse tangent of the tangent of 45. Once again, I should get the argument 45 since inverse tan and tan are inverse functions. And you can see that I do get 45 as a matter of fact. And this is just the new calculator. I have grouped the numbers differently, so if you're used to using the old one, pay attention to these buttons because they have been moved around just a little bit. And there is a new button now that allows you to work in radians all the time or degrees. It is currently in degree mode. Now it is currently in radian mode. I have put this information in the help, so in case you get confused, you can go here to the help, and it says the calculator now offers two settings, radians or degrees. If you want to work in degrees, then you should see the Go to Radian button, and here's what it looks like. So if you see this button, then you are working in degrees. If you want to work in radians, then you should see the Go to Degree button. So if you see this button, then you're working in radians. And so this is just new features of the calculator. Several people have requested this, so I thought that I should make this available for you. And this ends the session on using the new calculator in version 3.0.